Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today from our friends at Hunkydory Crafts, I have Build a Bouquet Vintage Petals 8x8 die cut pad. It's filled with all of these beautiful little punch out flower petals that are great for stacking and inking. We've also got the Build a Bouquet Vintage Petals 6x6 card fronts that are just fantastic for giving you a base, and this is an example of what I did using both. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. All right, so we're going to take a flip through the bouquet. You get 1,300 die cut elements, and there's 48 pages here. So let's take a look. Oops, I'm going to try not to skip. I'm going to try to skip the doubles here. So you're getting 1, 2, 3 of each, okay? So 3 just like this with the different size little petals, blossoms that you can stack. They punch out super easily, and I'm going to give you a demonstration on that shortly. And I love the mix of the patterns. Okay, here we've got some music themed, and here is with these beautiful roses and then the burgundies. This one has a like text or book print on it. And then you've got a brown with sort of a floral print on those as well. Oh, the polka dots are so fun. And then you've got like a purple floral on that as well. There's another one with the book print on it. This time you've got like an ivory or a tan print with a white floral. And then I love the like blue flowers with the white and blue print. These are a really nice shade of purple and lavender. And then another shade of purple. It's kind of a plum color really. And then we've got these beautiful blues, and the pinks and the burgundies with the rose print. And then what I really like about these is if you have trouble layering prints or mixing prints, these are really nice because they're very subtle and it just does this for you. So you get that look without maybe the struggle. Then you've got, it's got like a brown splatter, a tan and cream print, the music. And then we get to this, the rest of these are white, okay, white cardstock die cuts. And these are meant to be inked or colored or painted or whatever you want to do with them. And I'm going to demonstrate a technique with that as well. All right, so let's take a look at, let's see, let's go for this one. Show you that other one in the end. So this is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. And I used the Vintage Petals 6x6 card fronts, and I forgot to show you these, so we're going to just do this at the same time. One thing I did notice, it says they're 6x6 card fronts. Really what they are is a 5 5/8 square card front that is meant to go on a 6x6 card, okay? So these are not fully 6x6. They're 5 5/8, and that leaves a border on a 6x6 card that you can use. But I didn't want to use them all on 6x6 cards, so I sort of did a little bit of everything to give you an example. Now these come in, each one comes in 3 finishes: a gold finish, which is this one, and then a black ink finish. Okay, so there's no shimmer on that one, and then a silver foil. Okay, and you get 2 of each. So basically of all the images, you're getting 6 of the books, 2 of each finish, 2 silver, 2 gold, 2 black. All right, and then you've got this cute little wheelbarrow in the same thing with the different finishes. And then this great little wood crate, okay? Same with the 6 different pieces in all the different finishes. And then a vase, and you're getting this in the different finishes, and then the basket, which is what I used here. And I'm going to pull aside this basket because that is the one I used. And then you get this fantastic gilded frame in both the gold, silver, and of course that black print. All right. So put this aside. So for this one, you guys, to create the base of this 6 by 5 inch card, the first thing I did is cover my card with paper, and I chose Romantic Florals 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, and I used this one right here. It has a little bit of a lighter green in the center with a stripe, and I really wanted to feature something that had pattern on the top and that was a little less pattern down below so that the flowers would really stand out, okay? And so then for my basket, I took a marker. This is a tri-blend marker. It is a gold brown blend. If you're not familiar with how tri-blend markers work, they're 3 pens in one, so you get a dark, a medium color, and then a light color. And then you can just blend them all together just like that, and it gives you just this really nice shading technique. So what I did with this is not only did I cut this out, but before I cut it out, I just went ahead and I just used my darker pens colors towards the top and kind of shaded around the basket handle. And then I went to the medium, and then I just sort of colored in, blending that darker color. All right, and then I did the same, just going down the sides like this, and then towards the, probably the left, just to the right of center, I used the lightest color all the way kind of down here, but the rest of the basket is pretty dark. I didn't even, in hindsight, I really didn't even need to color in this part because it was just covered with flowers. So really, just the bottom of the basket and the handle would have been perfect. Would have saved me a little time. So then I just took my small scissors, do a little jab right here, and then I just cut this image out. You would absolutely not have to do this, but I wanted to do something different with this basket and just show you you don't have to use the white background every time. And so I just did a little easy cutting just like this, and you'll notice as I'm cutting along these little bumpy parts that my scissors are staying in one direction and I'm actually turning the paper. Just like that, all the way around. Okay, so then once I did that, I glued my basket to the card, and then I got to play with some flowers. So let me show you how the flowers work. So they punch out, this is the same page here, and they just punch out. I like to punch them out directly from the page instead of tearing the whole page out. It keeps everything sort of in the book where I want it. So we'll take one of those, and they kind of have different, each petal is sort of differently shaped. I'm going to demonstrate these here. They have different design shape, like that. And then those designs repeat. So if you wanted to layer all the ones that look like this, you can do that. Or you can just mix them up. You can do it like this, you can do it like that. But I like on this one, I layered 4 pieces on each one. And then you've got a little petal here, or rather the leaf. And here's another one. And let's see, how about a medium size? All right, so this is what I did on these. Now, we have these great little flower forming tools. They're large ball tools. And if you don't have these, you could use something else that's round. I just like putting them in my hand, going like this. I found it to be very quick. And if you have sensitive hands or you don't like doing this, you could set them on something like a piece of foam or a stack of magazines, even the book like this stacked up, and just something that has a little bit of give. And it'll kind of give you this little concaved look, just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing with this one. See how they just do that really easily? And then we're going to do this one, and you can just flip it around and use the smaller ball for the smaller pieces. Like that. And then I love to use our Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue, and I put it in this little small applicator bottle, which is so nice. And then you're just going to do a little bit of layering, just a little squeeze of glue, little dot. And then I like to make sure that my petals are offset, so they're not kind of aligned like this. I want them to be like covering the little space between each petal. Okay, like that. And then you could add a little piece of foam tape in between if you wanted to give some more dimension, or you can just layer them like this. And as you can see, very, very little bit of glue goes a long way, like that. And then with this little petal, or why do I keep calling the leaf a petal? The little leaf, I'm gonna do the same thing. A little bit of glue right here. And then you're just gonna attach it to the edge, just like this. Come on there. Just like that. And then you get to choose from different centers that you'd like to use. So I'm going to show you some examples. For these, I use these little pink pearl centers. There's different shades. I used this one, which is a lighter pink, and just these are self-adhesive, and just stuck one right there. But we also have things like little Jewel Dazzle stickers that also make really nice centers. And I'm going to show you some examples of some different things. So once I did that, I just glued each piece. And as you can see here, I've got 5 of these little blossoms. And then I just curved or curled some of the little leaves, and I put some glue on them and tucked them around. Added some little 1/8 inch wide ribbon right there above the flowers on the handle. And then down below here, I added a Script Greeting Dazzle sticker. I love using these because they're long and thin, and it's a nice way to find just the right length of something to go there. So these come in all these different finishes, okay, in one pack, and you get so many different ones. So I just added Best Wishes to this one. Really easy to do and a fun one, you guys. All right, so let's take a look at another one. For this one, using that little vase in the silver finish, and this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card, and as you can tell, I cut that 5 5/8 inch background for that vase. I cut it down to enough so that I would have a little bit of a border going around this. So I cut this to almost 4.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And then I took a little bit of blue ink, which of course I forgot to grab. I think I used Prussian blue, and my little applicator tool. And once I had this cut down, I just went around the edges and then just did a little smudge with my applicator tool on the center of each flower. Then I used my little water mister, and I just dribbled a tiny little bit of water around the edge. You can see it's got little splatter marks, and I'm going to show you this technique next on using it with some flowers as well. After I did that, I matted it with some blue cardstock and then some white Fancy Border Dazzle stickers, which are really my favorites. Love these series. Get these in all different colors. I love the white. Just added those along the bottom edge. On the centers of the flowers, that's where I used my little white Jewel Dazzles. And then right here, I just cut the same blue cardstock into a little tag shape. And then I added white tiny words and phrases Dazzle stickers. And just added Get Better Quick for a little get well card for a friend. Okay, so this one is our giveaway card. I'm going to return to this one, and then I'm going to show you the last technique using some inking on the white punch outs. But for this one, you guys, I took the stack of books and I colored it using some tri-blend markers again. I used True Blue, I used Dull Green, and then just the medium or mid shade of True Blue again, and the darker shade of the green and the darker shade of the blue. And then for the pages, I used the golden brown. And then I just wanted to use like all 3 sets of the pens in here. So I used the darker one here, I used the lighter one, I used the middle, and just kind of gave that some variation in this stack of books. And then I added some Happy Anniversary Dazzle stickers. And they come in a pack with all of these finishes, just so nice, repeated in 3 different fonts. So that's really nice to have for your little stash. And then on the centers of my flowers, you'll notice I used a little something different. These are gold caviar beads. Okay, I just grabbed the one that Debbie had on her desk, but they usually come in a much heftier bag like this. And you can use E6000 glue and a little toothpick, and you just place a little tiny ball of glue right there, and then sprinkle in a couple of these little beads, and then press them down with the toothpick, and they will hold up to mailing. We have tested it. It works great. And then went ahead and just used my regular Cosmic Shimmer glue to attach these flowers to the little book pages here. I covered, you guys, my 5 by 6.5 inch card using, oh, I left it way over here. There we go. Using our Mystical Florals 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, and I used this green one right here. And then inked the edges of my little topper here, which I should mention I cut down to 4.5 by the 5 5/8, and ink the edges of that with the cocoa bean ink using the applicator tool, glued it to the card center, and then added these brown and gold dual border dazzle stickers to the edges. Now, how we do our card giveaway for this. We are promoting our Paper Wishes YouTube channel, and we ask that you hop on over to YouTube if you're watching us at paperwishes.com on our webisode there. Just hop on over to YouTube, and our channel on YouTube is called My Paper Wishes, and you can just search that. And then we ask that you subscribe to our channel, like this video with a thumbs up, and leave us a comment. And then after about a week, we'll reply to one of the viewers, congratulations, YouTube username blank. We really have to have you use your YouTube username because we don't know you, we can't identify you in any other way. And some of you guys, when you send us an email, your email has your real name on it, but your YouTube username is something a little more nonsensical. We don't know who's who. So we do need you to use your YouTube username, and if you don't know what it is, just go back and look at your comment. It's labeled with your YouTube username. Then after that person is identified, then we ask them to email us with their information, and we will send you a card. And we do this every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so you would have to participate in those individually. Yeah, so I hope you do check it out. All right, this last card, you guys, is a 6 by 6, and it's sideways. There we go. 6 by 6 card using the frame. This is the gold frame. And for this one, I inked all of the frame, and well, most of the frame, and the flowers. I'm going to show you how I did that. It's really fun with this cool look. So the first thing, you're going to need some ink. So I used hot pink, orchid, and violet, and also some little finger daubers are really handy to have. So I've got all of these. And what I did was I just went ahead and I took the pink and just sort of staying right on the edge of that frame, just kind of going like this around that edge, and then the violet, and doing the same there, and overlapping. And then we've got the orchid. Ooh, that one's dry. Okay, and just filling in like that. Okay, and then with the flowers, I went ahead and I did the same, but kind of mixed things a little bit. Some of the flowers are solid like this, some of the leaves are solid, but I just took that same color scheme and I just went around the petals. Oops. Just like this. And you want some bold color, just like that. And then I took my little bottle of water. And then I like to just mist it from like 6 to 8 inches away. And that water is going to blend these. Now, these ink pads are dye-based ink pad, which means they're not a permanent ink pad and they react with water. So it's like a watercolor paint in an ink pad. And you'll notice that as you do this, they kind of blend together. Then what I like to do is just take my hand and just do a splatter. So you're getting a big drop. And those big drops are what you see along the edge here. And on the colors of the flowers, you can see they have big sort of blotches on them. That's intentional. We want to get those blotches. And then here on the edge of the card, okay, and then just feel free to go back and just sort of blend these colors. I think I did a little too light. I needed to use much more ink than this. Let's go back and use this side and get those dots bigger. And then some orchid. There we go. Did this card about 5 days ago and just kind of forgot what I did. Okay, so there we go. Like that. And then that's what we're doing. Lots of water. And then those dots are really going to show up nicely. There we go. And so that's what I did. And then they look, when they're dry, you just take them off of your background, put them on some newspaper or something. And when they dry, they're going to be nice and stiff and easy to curve. And you're going to take your same tools and you're going to just curve them up a little bit like that. And then you're just going to be layering them just like the other ones. Just really a fun technique to do. And lets your just artistic side just have fun and play. And then what I did was I glued them to the center, added a gold pearl jewel dazzle sticker to the center, and then added this to some metallic gold cardstock, and then just attached that to a 6x6 card. And here at the bottom edge, there's one of those script greeting dazzle stickers as well. So you guys, these are so fun to play with, and I hope I gave you lots of ideas, lots of different looks. Definitely check this money saver that we have out, you guys. It's right there on the right-hand side if you're watching us on our Paper Wishes webisode page. And if you're watching us on YouTube, just look below the video in the description box and you'll see a link that'll take you to this Paper Wishes webisode page. Don't forget to participate in our card giveaway. And thanks for joining me today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.